Hello and welcome to my new channel, Secular Skeptic. This is my first video talking shit about Anita Sarkeesian because she's garbage and I hate her. So here's a video of me spouting a bunch of trash. And it's pretty good. I hope you enjoy. Leave a like if you enjoyed.
If you want to get to know a character, learn about their interests, goals, or desires, their butt is probably not going to give you that information. It won't tell you much about who they are or what they're thinking or feeling at any given time.
No shit. Butts don't show emotion. What's your point?
But video game designers often choose to put tremendous focus on the butts of certain characters while going to almost absurd lengths to avoid calling attention to the butts of others.
They're not going to absurd lengths to cover his ass. He's just wearing a trench coat, and trench coats happen to cover asses. You're making a problem out of nothing.
These carefully crafted choices developers make about camera angles and clothing significantly impact how players think about and relate to these characters.
Okay, it is true that camera angles and the things they wear help us relate to characters, but their ass has nothing to do with how we feel about certain characters. It's just an ass. Some people might find it hot or whatever, but that means nothing.
Third-person games with female protagonists typically display those characters in a way that gives players a full-body view. A classic example of this is the original Tomb Raider games, which are presented from a third-person perspective wherein protagonist Lara Croft's entire body is visible.
She's put in a third-person view so you can actually see her during the game, because in Tomb Raider, you have to climb stuff and shoot people and do parkour or whatever. So, her being third person has nothing to do with her ass. It's just so you can actually see her actions.
In these early Tomb Raider games, Lara's butt is typically right in the center of the screen, a camera orientation which, along with the sexualized clothing the designers choose to outfit her in, places a tremendous amount of emphasis on that part of her body.
1. Her ass is in the middle of the screen because the ass is in the center of the body, and the body is being shown on the screen. So the ass is just in the middle of the screen for some reason. Like, it's not because they want people to be turned on by the polygon-ass, pointy ass. It's not why. It's just fucking in the middle of the screen. Like, it does not have any sexualized reason to be there. And her clothing is just it's a tank top and shorts. Things people fucking wear. It's not sexualized. She's not sexy. She's polygons. Okay? There's nothing fucking wrong with that.
In dozens of third-person games with playable female characters, the character's butt is brought to the forefront, and that's where the player's focus is directed. In Batman Arkham City, for instance, the player's gaze is drawn to Catwoman's behind.
Okay, so Catwoman is supposed to be sexy. Like, that's one of her super moves. She can distract people with her sexiness or whatever. So, the game devs probably think, oh, that's one of her main features. Maybe we should make her have a nice ass and a slim body. Maybe, just maybe, I don't know. Maybe we should make one of her key characteristics noticeable in our video game. That might just be why, you fucking idiot. Also, the fact that asses are able to be seen in third-person female games is because they're third person. And females usually have nice asses. And they want their female character to be attractive and cool and badass. So that's why they have nice asses. And you can see them because it's in third person.
Which is emphasized by her costume and exaggerated hip sway.
Again, she is supposed to be sexy. That's one of her features. Her hip sway is just part of that. She uses it as a superpower, and that's what her costume looks like, to make her be able to use her sexiness more. Costume is practical for the uses that she uses them for. It's not just some eye candy.
The ceremony! The Sisterhood will never forgive me if I am late.
Golden Axe Beast Rider makes extremely sure that we notice the protagonist's butt just before we take control and start playing.
Okay, it's true that you can see her ass, but it's not like they pan down her body just to show you what her ass looks like. They did it so that you can see the enemies running in between her legs. Like, it's just a dramatic camera angle that they use. It's not so you can see that her fucking pixelized Game ass.
And here in Tomb Raider Underworld, to say that Lara's butt is being emphasized would be putting it mildly.
Anita, she is wearing a swimsuit, and swimsuits look like that. And Lara Croft is supposed to be sexy and badass and awesome. She's supposed to be a dream girl of some sort. So she has a nice ass. It's not like it's emphasized. She just has a nice ass, and you're fucking going down to a camera angle where her ass is being prominently shown. Like, she just has an ass that looks nice in a swimsuit. Okay, there's not anything fucking wrong with that.
Incredible. The carvings are clearly similar to early Germanic design, but this is far older than the 5th century.
Dude, she's spinning around discovering something. They're not showing off her ass right there. She just does a 360 looking around at these ancient ruins. No one's thinking, oh man, I wanna fuck Lara Croft. They're thinking, fucking, they're just enjoying the badass moment where she just discovered what she's been looking for.
And this happens all too
You
often.
can't miss it.
Yeah, it happens all too often. Being able to see the backs of human beings. You're the one sexualizing these girls. No one else is. No one fucking cares that you can see their ass. They're just in third person, and you can just see their ass. No one's sexualizing them, you are. You're the one making a big deal out of it when no one cares. No one thinks the women are being sexualized. They just... You can see their asses in the game, because they have asses.
Let's contrast the way that women's butts are emphasized with the sometimes absurd lengths taken to cover up or hide men's butts.
They're not going to absurd lengths to cover that guy's ass. Altair is an assassin, and assassins wear hoods so that they can't be seen when they're killing people, I guess. They're not going to absurd lengths to cover his ass. His assassin robe cloak thing just is long and covers his ass. Like, they weren't thinking, man, with this robe, we really gotta cover his ass. That's the most important thing we gotta do with this robe. They were thinking, damn, this thing looks cool. Let's put it on him. Let's do it.
If some of this footage looks jerky, that's because in some games, trying to get a glimpse of male characters' butts can feel a bit like wrestling with the camera. Common ways men's butts are hidden are by preventing the player from seeing below the character's waistline, or employing a more over-the-shoulder camera angle, which has the added benefit of keeping the character's butt safely out of the frame.
You idiot. They're not trying to cover their ass. No one fucking cares. They're not. No one is going to any kind of effort to cover their ass. Their asses may just be unable to be looked at, but that's not on purpose. Like, they assume, like, we don't fucking need to do that. Like, it doesn't matter. We're gonna make it over the shoulder because it's a shooting game, or make it, when you look down, it actually goes up so you can see higher. Maybe that's why. Maybe they're not trying to cover their ass. Like, why would anyone do that? Why?
The most amusing solution is to simply include a cape, tunic, long coat, or very conveniently positioned piece of tattered fabric.
Maybe they do that just because fucking trench coats and robes and capes look badass. They're not doing it for the sole purpose to cover a dude's ass. They're just doing it because that shit looks cool. Like, tattered clothes makes them look rugged and badass, and robes make them look cool and shit. Like, everything you're mentioning is just design choices that make stuff look cool. They're not doing it to cover asses. Like, what?
Which actively prevents the player from getting a clear or sustained look at the protagonist's butt. For the purposes of this video, I tried to get a glimpse of Batman's rear end, but it's as if his cape is a high-tech piece of Wayne Industries equipment designed to cover up his butt at all costs. I like to jokingly refer to this aspect of a male character's costume as the strategic butt covering.
I wonder why Batman's cape covers his butt. Do you think it's because that's how capes work? Capes covers people's back. They cover from their shoulders to their feet. Like, you can't get a shot of his butt because the cape covers it. Like, there's no strategic moves in there. The devs weren't like, we gotta make his cape so you can never see Batman's ass. That's what we gotta do. We're gonna sell so many games if you can't see Batman's butt. It's strategic. We gotta do it. No one's fucking thinking that. No one's making strategic butt coverings. No. Any butt covering is accidental. Or just coincidental. Like, it's not for any reason, it just happens.
Of course, not all games with male protagonists keep the character's butt obscured or out of frame like these games do. The real issue is one of emphasis and definition. A significant portion of third-person games with female protagonists call attention to those characters' butts in a way that's meant to be sexually appealing to the presumed straight male player.
Anita, women have nice butts. Game devs want their characters to be cool and attractive because that's how shit goes. Like, characters that are attractive and cool get more popularity. Like, it's not so fucking people will want to fuck them. It's because fucking it looks good. It's a good design choice to make them attractive. And females have defined butts. That's what makes a female attractive to some people. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. That's just how it is.
In this regard, the way that women's bodies are depicted is significantly different from the way that men's bodies are depicted. There are a few examples of male protagonists who are wearing clothing that calls attention to their butts, but for the most part, men's butts, even when visible in the frame, are de-emphasized.
Have you ever seen a man's ass? Man butts are never attractive. They're always flat and weird and gross. On rare occasions, men have bubble butts. I don't fucking see that very often. But, it happens. But mostly men have fucking flat asses. And that's how they're portrayed in video games. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that.
Plenty of male heroes wear baggy pants or jeans, Uncharted's Nathan Drake among them, but nothing about his visual design or the jeans he's wearing encourages you to focus on his butt as some sort of defining aspect of his character.
Yeah, Nathan Drake's butt isn't a defining part of his character. But you know what it is? His good looks, his strength, or whatever. Just like a female character has a nice butt, and it means something to somebody, I guess. According to you, Nathan Drake is supposed to be a good-looking, rugged guy who's strong and cool and badass. So, you're fucking talking about a double standard. He's not being sexualized, he's just supposed to be cool for popularity. And attractive, just like females are. They're not being sexualized, they're just made to be attractive and cool because that's what gains popularity. And fucking men wear baggy jeans. Like, that's what most men wear. They wear fucking cargo shorts and jeans. They don't wear booty shorts to show off their butt like girls do.
By contrast, this emphasis on the butts of female characters communicates to players that this is what's important. This is what you should be paying attention to.
It does fucking not. No one is getting that message. No one thinks that video games are telling them that they should pay attention to butts and tits. Like, video games aren't fucking telling them that. They just have nice butts and tits because that's what gains fucking popularity. They're not being sexualized. They're not being fucking taken advantage of. They're just cool and attractive for popularity reasons.
It communicates that the character is a sexual object designed for players to look at and enjoy.
Okay. Every character is supposed to be designed to be visually appealing so that a character has something good to look at while they're paying money and playing your game. It's the same thing for men, it's the same thing for women. Video games are entertainment. So every aspect is supposed to be for you to enjoy and have fun.
And by explicitly encouraging you to ogle and objectify the character, the game is implicitly discouraging you from identifying directly with her.
It is not objectifying this character. It's not telling you to not fucking relate to her just because she's attractive. It helps more. Like, it helps you want to be that person. It helps you idolize them and want to love them because they're attractive and badass. They got it all. They're not being objectified. They're not making you don't relate to this character, she's attractive. She's supposed to be ogled and objectified. No, they're just making them attractive so people like that fucking character.
strategic butt coverings and camera angles that obscure characters' rear ends are not an accident. They are a conscious decision made with great care, and the flip side of this is that designers often do the opposite when the protagonist is female.
It's not a conscious decision that the game devs make to cover their ass. Like, they're not doing it just to cover their ass. They don't care. Like, and even if they were doing it on purpose, it doesn't matter. Like, you don't need to make a guy's ass visible because it's not a thing that defines them. Like, that makes them seem attractive. Their face does, or their muscles, or their chest, or their package. Just that's the type of thing that they have showing in male protagonist video games because that helps people like them. They help fucking the things that are attractive show on women protagonists because it helps them gain popularity because everybody loves a main character that's attractive.
This difference in how male and female characters are framed often extends into the advertisements and box covers. Women's butts are front and center, and it's even become a depressing joke that their bodies are twisted and contorted in uncomfortable or unnatural ways so that their breasts and butt can be visible in the same shot.
So what? Fuck. They're not contorted in unnatural positions. The main characters are just meant to be sexy, so they pose in a sexy way. Like, that's just what's going on. They're meant to be like that. And fuck, their butts are not front and center. Like, their butts are just visible because of the shot they were making. Like, the shot that's on the thing just happens to show their ass. Like, that's not the whole point of it being like that, though.
In contrast, when men are depicted from behind, there's great effort taken to cover up their rear end, often with other images or shadows.
No one is going to any effort to cover a dude's ass. That is just the design they chose. Like, a cool fucking backdrop, cool design thing behind them. Like, they do the same shit on female things, it's in their different place on some covers. On some covers, I'm sure female asses are covered. And on other covers, I'm sure male asses are uncovered. There's no conscious decision being made specifically to cover a butt or show a butt. I mean, sometimes so that female characters will seem sexy and people want to buy it because that's how people work. And sometimes with men, they will show off the brawn or their sexiness so that females will buy them. It's just how the world works, There's nothing wrong with it.
Of course, female characters can also be framed in ways that aren't objectifying. A good example of this is the episodic adventure game Life is Strange, in which the protagonist's butt isn't emphasized or centralized. The camera angles work in conjunction with the story to encourage us to identify with her as a human being. Sadly, the box art for the third-person action-adventure game Beyond Good and Evil emphasizes and sexualizes Jade's butt.
That cover does not sexualize and objectify Jade. Like, her butt is just visible because she's looking behind her, like, and running off with something or some shit. Like, it's not so you can see her butt. Like, her butt is even covered up, kind of, with a fucking rope. Like, it's not there so you can see her butt. It's just there so you can see her body, her looking behind her, fucking running off with some garbage. She's not being sexualized and objectified.
The game itself, however, demonstrates that the Nathan Drake approach of outfitting a character in clothing that doesn't emphasize their butt, and not having the camera center it or focus on it can work just as well to humanize female characters as it does for male characters.
Not being able to see someone's butt doesn't humanize someone, okay? It doesn't make a difference. Like, being able to see someone's butt isn't the reason why people play games. They do it for the entertainment and fun. A butt is just kind of like a bonus, I guess. But no one is fucking dehumanizing somebody because they can see their ass or tits. If anything, it's making them like them more. It's making them want to, relate with that character even more because they're attractive, which adds to the likeness that they have with them.
So to be clear, the solution here is not to simply show more butts of male characters. Equal opportunity butt display is definitely not the answer. Rather, the solution is to de-emphasize the rear ends of female characters so that players are encouraged not to ogle and objectify these women, but to identify and empathize with them as people.
No one is encouraging anyone to ogle and objectify women. They just have asses. I don't think there's any problem with women being portrayed how women actually are in real life. Women are attractive, and they're made attractive in video games because everybody likes attractive women, whether you're straight or gay, as a male or a female. Everyone just loves someone that's attractive, okay? No matter what. That person doesn't even have to be a woman. It can be a dude, too. I mean, everyone likes someone that's attractive. It just makes them more likable, you know?
This is not an impossible task, given that game designers do this all the time with their male characters. It's time they started consistently doing it with their female characters, too.
Anita Sarkeesian, you make me sick. You are the one objectifying females and sexualizing them. No one else is. You're the one making them seem like victims and making them seem like there's a problem when there's not. There's no problem at all. No one has a problem with it. It's just, popularity reasons. It's just how they sell the most copies. It's not so fucking women are being sexualized or dehumanized or objectified. It's just for popularity, and it's just how it is. There's nothing wrong with it. No one needs to change anything. You're fucking retarded, Anita. You're stupid. You're garbage. So anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you did, leave a like and share it, I guess. It will help me get out there. There'll be a new video whenever I see something and get fired up about it and want to talk shit, which happens often. So, see you in the next video.